Welcome to the 12th episode of Cooking for Wellness at NYU Langone Health. For most kids, September is back to school month, and that can mean a whole lot of adjustment coming off summer vacation for many families. Getting kids to make healthier food choices can be tremendously difficult, especially when it's not convenient or easy. One of my most successful methods is participation. If kids have a handle in preparing the meal, the odds of them enjoying it are far greater. So as part of our Ask an Expert segment, today we are joined by a very special guest, my daughter, Violet Held, a seventh grader from MS 839 in Brooklyn, who not only knows her way around the kitchen, but is also quite an accomplished baker. Today, our goal is to help kids and parents make healthier food choices together while keeping proper kitchen safety as a top priority. Welcome, Violet. Thank you for being here.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I'm sorry. It's okay. See,
You
now you're gonna
laugh.
be okay. So today we're gonna make one of the recipes that we serve our pediatric patients in our hospitals, our homemade turkey meatballs and spaghetti. We've replaced the typical beef, pork, or veal with lean ground turkey, and we're gonna demonstrate a great way to remove a lot of the fat. And also by making our own tomato sauce, we are significantly reducing sodium. Now, this recipe is a favorite at the hospitals because although we've made many healthier modifications, spaghetti and meatballs are still a comfort food for many people. So this is a very straightforward recipe, and the hardest part really is just rolling out the meatballs, which is a great task for the kids to do while you attend to other things. Okay, let's get started.
Okay.
First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little bit of olive oil. We're going to begin to sweat our onions and carrots. So we have about a cup of finely diced onions and the same of carrots. In this case, to make it a little safer, we actually use a grater to grate the carrots rather than use a knife. We're gonna cook the vegetables first, a nice medium heat. Take the rawness off, let flavors develop prior to adding it to the meat.
Why do you put vegetables in the meatball?
First reason you put vegetables in the meatballs is because they taste good and we're developing flavor. Second reason is to sneak vegetables into the meatballs.
But then why are they called meatballs? Shouldn't they be called vegetable meatball?
Well, I think it's just, we're only gonna cook that for 3-4 minutes. Allow that to cool, take it off the heat. Gonna go ahead and add that right to the bowl. So we have some fresh thyme, go ahead and add that, and some fresh oregano. Once again, herbs give beautiful,
Flavor?
delicious flavor, but also very good for you. Next up, we're gonna take 2 eggs. Go ahead and whisk those. Add some air into that. Okay, go ahead and add it to the bowl. Next up is we're gonna add some Parmesan cheese. I'm gonna go ahead and crack some fresh black pepper in there and just a little bit of salt. So this recipe, when we serve it, typically it has a little bit of tomato paste. Tomato paste can be very high in sodium. We removed it today. A great way to season it sometimes is to take out the physical adding of salt and replace it with cheese or like Parmesan. So let's go ahead and add our ground turkey. I have 2 pounds of ground turkey. So the key to this is to kind of work from under and over. We have some breadcrumbs. We're not gonna add that right at once. We're gonna do it in steps. Sprinkle a little bit in. It's never gonna be exactly the same amount depending on the moisture content in the turkey and the vegetables. It takes a little bit of adjusting with your own eyes. Yeah, let me try. You need the muscles for this.
Yeah, it must be hard for you.
The best way to know when you've had enough bread is basically you have to touch it because the meatball mix has to be dry enough that it can be rolled. And once
And not
you're able to
really
roll
sticky.
it, you don't want to add too much bread because it takes away flavor at that point. So as long as it's able to be just about able to be rolled. So I use this ice cream scooper because you get a perfect portion. So I simply portion it out and then you roll it by hand into a nice ball. Today, we're actually going to roast the meatballs in the oven. Reason being, the fat renders out into the pan and it actually enables us to remove a great deal of the fat from the recipe. Well, then when they come out of the oven, we'll take them off the pan, leave all the grease, and then put them into the tomato sauce for braising in the oven. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and roast these dry convection for about 30 minutes, 350 degrees. Okay, so our meatballs are just about ready to go. It's been about a half hour. I'm gonna go ahead and check.
They look
Carefully.
pretty ready to me.
Carefully. Okay. Beautiful. So now we're gonna use these tongs to take them and just place them right into here. Add those to the pan. We have basic whole canned tomatoes that we pureed. We're gonna add that right to the meatball pan. Go ahead and grab some basil leaves. Great. So we're gonna cover this up.
What are we
We're
gonna
gonna
do with it?
drop our oven to 300 degrees and we're gonna allow that to simmer in the oven for about an hour and a half. Not only will our meatballs will be braising and getting tender, they're actually flavoring the sauce itself and making it just delicious. Ready?
Yeah.
So our meatballs have been cooking for about an hour and a half. Okay, so it's very, very hot. So when you're taking it out of the oven and you're ready to take the foil off, be very, very careful. The steam is gonna shoot up. So peel off the corner, turn it away from you and allow the steam to escape. What do you think?
It looks really good.
Looking good? Take some meatballs, give a little extra sauce. Cheese? What do you think?
Can I eat it?
Sure. Good? Well done. Thank you for watching today's episode. There are plenty of helpful, enjoyable, and safe jobs for any age, so don't be afraid to bring your kids into the kitchen. It's a great way to introduce your kids to new foods, learn healthy choices, and have some fun. Please join us next month for another episode.
Bye. Yeah.
All right, stop eating for a second.
Sorry.
You're supposed to eat
I know,
on
that's
camera.
why I made it look nicer.